brought to you by Empire City Gaming at Yonkers Raceway. The Moose is here. That's Mark Malusis, Jonas Schwartz along as well. Let me begin with you, Mark. Who was more deserving of a contract extension? Was it Omar or the other GM in town, Brian Cashman, who got his deal done yesterday?
You know, Gary, tough question. I'm going to go with Cashman. I understand that he rode the coattails of Bob Watts and also Stick Michael, but he did get to 5 World Series as Yankee general manager and did win 3 of them. So I'm going to go with Cashman, to be perfectly honest with you, Jonas. And I look at Omar Minaya, and I agree with Jeff Wilpon that he has brought them from basically utter despair, but he's also the general manager of 2 utter collapses.
And let's keep in mind that Omar basically brought them from utter despair by spending money, which the Wilpons allowed him to do. I mean, I think the payroll was something in the 80s or 83 million. And now, you know, it's up to 120, 125. I mean, so once they allowed him to spend money, I think he was able to obviously make the team better, and he picked some good guys, and he picked some of the right guys, and the Santana deal was great the way he hung in there. I wouldn't have given either of them an extension. I would have let Omar play out his final year and see how he did. I think Omar's crucial mistake was keeping together a core of a team that collapsed last year and expecting it to turn out differently, and then, of course, not helping out his bullpen.
Can I say this, though, Jonas? Yeah, I mean, you keep the core together. If the bullpen had done its job, and even if Billy Wagner hadn't gotten hurt, pretty good chance the Mets would have won the division. In fact, if the bullpen hadn't blown 29 saves, say they don't blow half those, the Mets win the division by 10 games.
But Gary, teams
the offense had problems too.
Well, you can't look at it like that. I like to always say ifs and buts or candies and nuts every day would be Christmas. Teams blow saves all throughout the year. Then you want to take away the Mets comebacks? Can I take away the brain fart that Charlie Manuel had when he didn't bring Brad Lidge in the 8th inning and you saw Delgado hit a home run to tie the game up? Can I bring back that?
Yeah, but Gary, also keep in mind, Gary, it's also about the core of players like David Wright, who really struggled down the stretch this year, and Jose Reyes, who had a rough September, at least initially, and all these guys that did not come through. I mean, the offense, the last weekend of the season, I mean, did not score a lot of runs.
I understand, but they should have never been in that position if it wasn't for the bullpen.
But even Jerry Manuel said that offense needed to pick things up and had the ability to, and they did not. I don't disagree with that. You mentioned Jerry Manuel. I like him, thought he did a very good job. Let's be honest, though. He was at the helm of this collapse. Is he the right guy, Jonas, or is there somebody better out there to manage the Mets? Well, if you're going to go with the rationale that the bullpen was the problem and that, you know, what choice did he have? He tried it out every combination of people he could have and actually got by with the likes of Ayala and Stokes for a while. I thought Jerry Manuel was great. He does deserve to come back. I mean, I think he did the best he could with the players that he had. He made a mistake probably. Moose, you and I talked about this yesterday, front-loading the lineup the last weekend of the series. But beyond that, he did a great job. And you know what? He changed the tenor of that clubhouse, and he was a friendly manager who held people more accountable. And that was really this fine line that he walked, and he did it successfully. And Moose, he handled the media well. I thought he did a great job.
Listen, I mean, that plays into it. But if you're going to bring Omar back, which you are, and eventually you get this Manuel contract underway and it gets done, I agree, 17 games over 500. Still, when he took over for Willie Randolph, let's not forget, you know, it was Omar Minaya saying that the goal is to make the playoffs this year, and he failed at the goal. But I agree, he was 17 games over 500 at 55 and 38. There's not a sexier candidate out there. But if you bring Omar back, you bring Manuel back, you change up some of the coaching staff, that's still not enough. Omar's got to get very aggressive this offseason to change the tenor of that clubhouse. I got to be perfectly honest with you. Delgado, listen, I dumped Delgado. Get rid of him. I don't think you're going to have another year like you had this year. I don't care what you're going to get back from him. I know he's only signed to 1 year, but something's got to change in that locker room,
I don't think trading him is out of the question. I think that is a possibility. Senator Biden, Governor Palin, stand by. We're back to you. And your Governor Palin is that okay, Jonas?